All right, guys, right here is the propane tanks. To do the propane tanks, you just lift this off, and then there's two tanks. There is a valve that points towards one or the other. Just make sure it's pointing towards the tank that you're using and your tank is open. Right back here, hopefully you never need it, but just so you're aware, the battery's located back here. There's a large storage compartment right here. You just open this up, it's a complete pass-through. This is where you're gonna find all your gear, your water hose, your sewer hose, the power cord, the little hand crank for dropping these stabilizer jacks. You just put the crank on, you'll crank it down real fast, and then these jacks, they just touch the ground. They just make the RV less wobbly when you're walking inside. Just remember to raise those up before you drive away. You don't want to bend the jacks or anything like that. You have a large awning right here. This comes out. Just make sure if you're not sitting underneath it, we recommend you close it. If you're just aluminum arms, and it's like a giant kite. So if you're going to go riding your bike or go on your boat or something like that, just make sure you close that up before you leave. Right here, you're just going to open the door. This has a new set of stairs. These are the Sure Step stairs. To get these out, there's a little lever right here. You just pull it, it unlocks it. You're going to swing it down. And then there are two legs right here. Just make sure you adjust these legs so that this is level when it comes down on the ground. You don't want this up too high, because if it is, the door won't shut completely. So just adjust those legs to the terrain you're on. Also, when you go to close this, make sure this door is completely open all the way. Otherwise, you'll hit the step on the door. So you can see it kind of gets in the way. So make sure it's completely up out of the way. Just lift up, swing it around, and it locks right back into place. And then you can go ahead and shut your door. When you travel, we do recommend you swing this arm over to lock over the door. It is actually your arm to help your arm and when you go in and out for balance. But when you're traveling, we do recommend you close it. There's an exhaust heater right here. Just make sure you don't need any gear against that. There's actually another one towards the back here I'll show you. Right here are a couple outlets. A lot of people like to set up a table or something out here with a crock pot or anything like that. Just make sure this will not run unless you're plugged in at a park or running a generator. Just remember all the outlets need power. So this is the other exhaust we were talking about. This can get hot. Don't let your kids lean against this or anything. And then there is a nice little outdoor area here with a fridge. There's a couple outlets, a couple USBs. There's even a tray that slides out here. We do rent grills that can sit on those, or you can bring your own. It's just a nice little platform to cook on. And like we talked about, your fridge. Now this has to be plugged in at a park or running the generator, or the fridge won't get cold. It doesn't run off of propane. We're gonna swing around the back here. Hopefully you never need it, but there is a spare tire. It's right here. And then on the back side, we're gonna go over a few things. This right here is the Power Connect. This is what's gonna plug into the park or into the generator. There's a cord, you screw it on, and then the other end just plugs in. Right here is your black and gray water tank valves for dumping. You're gonna put on your sewer hose right here, then that goes into the dump station. You'll pull the black one first, which is sewer. You'll let it all drain out, then you'll close that valve, and then you'll pull this gray valve, which is like the shower water or the dirty sink water, and it'll kind of clean out the hose when you dump. There are two plugins here. This is for your fresh water. The black one is for the fresh water at a campground. You can hook in directly here. Now this other one, they make it orange because this is the sewer flush out. If you're gonna go ahead and dump your own tanks, you're gonna hook a hose onto here and you can run water through the black tank. Just make sure that black tank, anytime you're hooked to here, that black tank valve must be open. Do not use this without that being open. You will flood it, and you do not want that. That'll be a big problem. This unit has a large slide out. It comes out to about right here, so just make sure there's nothing in your way, no cars or vehicles or trees or anything. It comes out, and then we just recommend you have a spotter when you're using that. You don't want something to get smashed when it's closing or anything. Make sure your coolers are out of the way. And then right here is your freshwater fill. This is the tank for filling up your fresh water. You'll just unscrew the cap, you put your garden hose in here, you can fill it up. This is for when you're dry camping. And then if you are done with your trip and you're gonna head home and you still have some fresh clean water, there's a dump valve right here, this white one. If you pull that open, it'll drop all the good clean water. So you kind of lightens your load on the way home. So let's go on inside, I'll show you that, and we'll take a look. Okay guys, we're gonna go on over the interior and how to use all the options. So right up here, you're gonna have your slide out button. This is what operates the slide. Just make sure when you're sending it out that nothing's out there in the way and it comes in and out safely. You have this one right here. This is for the awning. Once again, just don't leave that out during the day. We recommend it's always closed when you're not sitting underneath it. You do have a nice little stereo system here and a couple outlets. In this coach, it's really nice. There's for the size of it, there's a really nice queen bed. And then to the left side of the bed, there are a couple outlets and even a couple USB outlets for charging. So that's really handy at night. Right here is a large dinette. This also converts into a bed. Now to convert this into the bed, all you do is take off the table, you'll remove these two poles, and then there are these little things that stick out right here. The table just literally sits right on top of there, and then you take the cushions and put it on top and you have a nice little extra sleeping area. One thing I do want to go over is all the light switches in here are right in the center of each of the lights. So just push right on the center and it turns on. They're kind of hidden if you don't know where they're at. So you just push right on the middle. That way those will all be working for you. Also, this does have an air conditioning unit. To run this, you do need to be plugged into park power or run a generator, and you just literally switch it on to the cold and it'll start blowing and it'll be great. You have a large sink area. You also have a double burner cooktop and a microwave here for cooking. As you come around, your refrigerator is right here. To turn it on and off, there are two buttons here. One says on off, the other says gas or auto. If you are dry camping, you're gonna run it on gas, and if you're plugging in later at the park, you're gonna be traveling, you're gonna run it on auto. Just remember these take 4 to 6 hours to get cold, so make sure you start this early. Also, these door handles are a little finicky, so make sure that you don't have people yanking on these door handles. We've had a couple of them break over the time, and they do cost about $50 a door handle, so try not to rip those off. A lot of teenagers sometimes, you know, they'll just rip the door open here, so just make sure to take care of that. Right here is the heater. To turn on the heater, you'll click it on right here, and then you control the temperature with the bottom slider. So there's a top on off and then a bottom slider to control heat. And right here, just like your house would have, is a breaker box. Right here with some fuse panels and things like that. Hopefully you'll never need something in there, but just like your house, you could pop the breaker, you reset it through there. There's a couple things. You have a great sleeping area right here, 2 large bunks, perfect. 2 adults could get in there, or you could get a group of kids in there, and a large storage area underneath. We're gonna head into the bathroom, and to flush the toilet, there's a little foot pedal you push. Just make sure you tell the kids and everybody to flush for about 5 seconds. That way enough water gets into the toilet. There's a nice sink. There's a nice little shower area. And then right here is where you have your water pump button, and then all those tank gauges we were kind of talking about outside about the fresh water. If you push the fresh water button, it'll light up. It'll show you how full it is. And then underneath that, you do have your heaters. So there's an electric one if you're plugged in, and then there's a gas one if you're dry camping. So we're excited to have you guys, and if you have any additional questions, keep those in mind for when you come. We can go over them, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.